No, crypto pirates and crypto junkies alike. So happy to have you guys join me here today. I don't usually do the whole boomer rant like Captain RG does, so we'll hold off on the rants right now. I have plenty of things to say, but I don't even want to bring this guy up. Yep, that's enough of that. Now that he's scared off all of our 17 viewers, it's time for us to bring up someone who might bring some views on. Hey, Markable, how you doing?
Well, hello there. How are we doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great. I am excited to talk, even with this guy today. Keep the rank jokes to a minimum, please, sir. And we will continue. we will continue on as if everything is normal here, but we know better. So I'm just glad to have all of you guys here. Before I address some of the things that we want to talk about today, I just want to give a huge shout out to those who are in the chat waiting for us already. Markable Thoughts almost made #1, right behind Super Hex, the man that hexes TikTok better than anybody else. So throw in the hexes on TikTok, man. We appreciate you doing that, Super Hex. We got Dorsey78. We got Odele. We've got Nardo1 for the win. Another OG Hex again. Also a Cutthroat. Thank you for joining us, brother. We got Hex Monkey, Brian Magruder, Wales Only. We got Modern Simplicity. Got Low. Got Metallic Elmo. If you can make it, man, let me know. I'll throw you a link. If any of you guys want a link, let me know. I'll drop it in the chat here. Michael Hex, always a pleasure to see you, brother. Thanks for hooking us up with your cousin Bobby Pickles. That was awesome. Daraj Moore, the most educated troll that I know out there, the doctor himself. And then we got Cabana Crypto, number 19, he says. So it is good to see all you guys joining us here today. Yes, absolutely. I'm surprised you took the time to count. I would have just guessed. So, lights out.
Well,
Hellcat Tony. He might have. He did. He might have. Here you guys go. I'm going to go ahead and copy and throw this in here. That's right. Wales Only said it right. 24 watching and only 12 likes. What is wrong with you people? I'm disgusted. Disgusted by your lack of behavior as a Hexican.
I'll give us a like.
Hexican.
There we go.
All right. There you go. You know what? I'll give us a like as Discourse, and then I'll open another browser and as my personal KNTX YouTube account, I'll give us another like.
So during the fork, do we get a duplication of all of our likes as well?
Why not? I don't see why not.
Oh, we can.
Not that those are monetizable, but hey,
I delegate my like to Markable.
All right, we're back up, guys. 24 likes and 34 people. 25 likes and 34 people watching. So it's a little better, guys. A little better.
What's up with your equipment there, Markable? Are you like recharging your brain with that, like, cord?
Yes, I am. No, I figured out a way to not have this earpiece to hold this constantly so that it rubs to my beard. Like I hang it on top of my laptop right now. Okay. It's Jank City again. I'm in Jank City right now.
Jank City.
It looks great.
I love it.
I'm for everyone that doesn't know. I'm in Slovenia. I traveled to through Europe to just I'm just looking for some other countries to buy some land, and I want a house with a piece of land, and better to research some things now before I have all the hex gains that can buy me that house, so that once I have it, I can actually act on it. So that's what I'm doing right now.
You give the Vikings a bad reputation. We have to go to the foreign land and we take what we want.
Yeah, we take
we take what we want.
Yeah. I'm trying to do it in a more civil way.
There you go. There you go. Barely crafty, Mr.
What's up, guys? Sorry,
barely made it. I like that.
I had no audio. I had to restart. What's going on? I cannot hear you.
Russ, Piston Broke 5555. Thank you, sir, for joining us. It's good to see you guys. So one thing I want to start with, guys, is I'm really disappointed in all you Hexicans. I know so many of you are going to Vegas and you don't have your reservations made with Maddie yet. Just sickens me. to know that you guys have not done this yet. So let's go ahead. On Twitter, you can find where to go, hexakin.vegas. It looks like Hex Meetup. I'm going to copy this and throw it in. I'm going to throw this in the links here, and then I'm going to throw it up here on the screen. hexmeetup.eventbrite.com. Get your guys' reservations, because I got to know how many shirts we're going to be printing so I can get those out in time. Otherwise, you guys will not have these shirts in time. So we need to make sure that we've got everything going. We've got all the people that are going to be there. Even if you're not going to be there, but you still want the shirt and you want the lanyard and you want the what did Captain call it last night? The slave mask or something like that, the silent slave mask, aka the masks for compliance. Anyway, you guys make sure you guys get signed up so we can get those shipped out to you. He's got, if you don't mind a little bit of doxing in the way of your mailing address, it'll only be Maddie. He's been nothing but a benevolent benefactor to the Hex ecosystem. I don't think he's going to try to cheat anybody, but there is a way that he has set up that he can do this that doesn't dox you, and you can pay crypto as well. So for all of you guys that haven't yet, make sure you get your reservation set up and ready to go. So just needed to throw out that public service announcement before we do anything else.
Nice.
I'm still waiting for someone to offer to fly me in and cover all, the hotel.
I'll fly you in.
No takers.
No takers yet. You know
No
what?
takers yet. Maybe
they
next time.
they did offer it to me, man.
Oh, that
I
hurts.
think you're.
Are you? I'm surprised you're allowed to leave the country.
It must be the
So
beard, man.
You
It must be
smuggled
the
yourself
beard.
out to Slovenia,
think
or
it's
what?
the
How
beard.
did you get out? You have a record.
What?
You have
What?
you have a criminal record. How did you get out of?
I don't
Of
have a
another
criminal record. What?
Sure you
what
do.
are you
Yeah, you
You're-
do.
No.
You're a stinking
For sitting
hippie.
in. No, remember you were sitting in on the field, and the cops came for
Oh
you.
no, dude! They yeah.
You're on the run.
said
We
it.
know there is a bounty.
Here's a bounty.
Oh yes.
Boba
They,
Fett's
they
looking
know
for you,
they
bro.
didn't have any ground, dude. They didn't have any ground, and they never returned to me with something. So it's all right.
Oh.
They kind of forgot, I think.
You mean you thought that ankle brace was just like a cute little souvenir they gave you? That said,
Yeah.
don't leave your house. Oh, they never got back to me.
So
it
I
looked
just
cute.
want to. I just got to put this out there because it has to do with what Mark was talking about, getting in trouble for sitting out on the field by himself during the pandemic. I don't blame you, Wales. I'm in a small community. I don't wear one now anyway, and most of the people in my community don't, and we have extremely low numbers. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents on that.
Oh, hi, Peter. Hey, Metallic
Hello.
Elmo.
Hello.
I don't think
What
you have to
is
wear
up?
that mask over your face. You could just put your naked legs through it and use it to cradle your junk and just walk around Vegas. That would be the best way to protest.
Yeah, right. Just hanging from one ear, not even over your face, but I'm wearing it.
What were you guys
Mhm.
up to? You're both late. You coming in at the same exact time. And Peter's hair is all messed up. Like, what were you up to, guys?
Yeah,
Wait,
what were you
you're
guys,
like-
are you guys in the same place?
Hey, Crafty, what are you lecturing people for coming in late for, Mr. Pot calling the
I had my
kettle black?
excuse. I had technical issues.
He's
Oh,
just
yeah,
jealous.
okay.
He's just
Yeah.
jealous. Let him be.
Always
Just-
jealous.
It's probably right now. Metallic Elmo is sitting on the left side of the room, and Peter's sitting on the
Yeah.
right side of the room.
I'll turn the
They're
camera.
just in the
Ah.
same room always. Like they're kind of like brothers.
They get the smear of lipstick on both of their faces.
Of
It's
course.
cute. It's very
So
cute.
you're traveling, Michael.
Yeah, man.
He's
took the
running.
train
He's on the
to
run.
Slovenia.
That's
By the way, it's really funny. Everyone's constantly making you scared about controlling police, and they not letting you in the country, and it's
Mhm.
hard to travel right now. But it's really easy to travel, and it's not busy, so that's nice. Like everyone's always the same stuff in your country. They say other things about other countries, or
Yeah.
that
they
it's
try to scare you
outside
all
of
the
the
time.
country it's dangerous or whatever, or there's other rules or whatever, but most of the time it's completely fine to travel, like, so it's interesting.
I haven't tried.
But
So you're in Slovenia now, in your future house, or
No, but in a friend's house.
Okay.
This is not my future house, but it's nice, man. It's a saw some land that's pretty nice, and it's actually it made me realize how weird it is that in the Netherlands there's, and probably in the US as well, like there's no just food growing on the side of the road, like fruit trees and whatever. But here it's just what I've been seeing everywhere. There's fruit on the side of the road. You can just not right now, but like the fruit trees are everywhere and not necessarily belong to someone. They're just there.
He is
And
freaking
it's,
getting arrested in Slovenia for
Absolutely,
stealing.
he
dude.
is, yes. Yes.
Stealing
I knew
food.
someone was going to say something like that.
Some little old
Stone
lady's
the-
gonna come running out and be
Leave me
like,
alone,
"You're
man."
stealing from my peach trees." They're gonna rob this little old lady from her peach
It's not even
pies, man.
possible right now, guys. Come on.
Hey, Michael Hex, you're welcome for the shout out, man. Sorry to hear about your grandfather's funeral, brother. I am sorry to hear about that, man. But condolences, prayers, thoughts out to Michael Hex and Bobby Pickles. Appreciate you guys. Michael Hex, you are an OG Hexican. You're forever near and dear to my heart, man. So it hurts when you lose family. Obviously not as bad as it hurts you when you lose the family, but just let you know we're here for you, man. If you ever need anything, just let us know. Okay, appreciate it. So I just want to show love and support for our Hexicans, because we may fight, we may bicker like family, but we always come back together because we all have the same common cause. So I'll give a shout out to Brennan. He and I got into a little tiff this week. We have since kissed and made up. We're buddies again. We know we're on the same team. We know we want the same things for people. We really do. We want ultimate freedom and sovereignty for everybody. We want the ultimate hex gains that can be provided through this finished product that you can't find anywhere else. So we do fight like family in this community, but we always seem to come back together. Screw you, children of the grave.
And by that you mean we fight dirty.
We do. We do.
Hey, how's Bizology doing? Anybody know? He's out of the whole operation and everything's okay. Do we know anything yet?
I don't know yet. So you know what? I'm gonna reach out to him right now.
Nope.
You know something? Because if you do, that'd be great.
What happened to him?
He's got
Was that
some-
coming?
I believe it's a brain cancer of sorts. So
Yeah.
but it seems like it's very treatable,
Oh,
and he
no.
says he'll be in Vegas in June. So
DJ Cryptomatic wants Markable and Papa B to kiss. Would that be open mouth or closed mouth? Because I don't like beards.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen because
It doesn't matter. It's
Papa
not
B's
gonna
green
happen anyway.
screen ends.
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
What you mean again?
Papa B can kiss the rock that he made out of me.
Aw.
Aw.
He can kiss the rug.
I knocked the teeth out for
What?
easy access.
French
You
kiss,
noticed that, right?
Nah.
Mm.
Yeah. Thanks, Wales. That's exactly my thoughts too. It's like, man, why does it? This is supposed to be the
It
higher
wasn't-
echelon show.
It wasn't even a
of the
super chat,
Discourse
right, guys?
Syndicate.
Did you notice that? It wasn't even a super chat. Come
That's a
on.
good point.
If you
You
want
know
them to
what? We
kill-
don't even address it unless there's some super chats attached to it. So
Oh, okay. There you go. Sorry about that. Was my I broke the rule. Sorry about that.
Good idea.
Do we have an agenda for today, or is this
well,
just?
there's a few things I want to talk
stream.
about. There's a few things I want to talk about. This kind of ties into it, so we'll start here. Since I went day one FOMO into Hex, will the fork ensure I FOMO into Pulse
Yeah.
Hex on the fork? Laugh out loud. Well, actually, it behooves you to go YOLO on the first day. So every day you don't, according to what the information is as of now that we have until new information is released, it's a better price the earlier you get in. So day one FOMO is real, and it actually benefits you in this system for this launch versus the Hex system, where you have to distribute your coins over
Yeah,
a set amount. So this is great, guys. This is fantastic. It gets 4.2% more expensive every day as of now. That's how it's sitting. So
And
So
it's ratchets up also by
guys
the
better
dollar
FOMO
value,
in day
right?
by
one.
the $1 million, yes. So it's 4.2% for every $1 million in value that gets put in. So that could happen really, really quick.
Yes.
Really, really quick.
Dude,
so
that's
that
like
could
the
happen.
first minute probably.
Dude, I know. I was just thinking that, like,
Yeah.
within the first 30 minutes, $100 million and
Like $1 million?
59x in price.
That's nothing.
Yeah. Well, so that he said it's 59x every 100 million,
Is it?
and I think we'll hit 100 million the first day. So it's like
Dude.
59x in price the first. So here's what I'm going to tell you guys. And Scotty last night on the show with John Wick. Since they were both on last night, this is what I said on Tuesday. I don't know if I came up with the idea first, they came up with it first. It doesn't really matter. I'll give credit where credit is due. If it was talked about in a chat room before I ever came up with this idea, you guys, if you've got 20 different coins that you got to send into this address, this sacrifice address to get your buy-in for Pulse, you guys are a lot better off just selling everything you got right now and putting it into HEX. There's 3 pumpamentals that come out of this right now if you do so. First off, it's going to be a lot easier for you to claim your HEX and get in as soon as possible, because you only got to do 1 send instead of 20 different sends to a sacrifice address. Number 2, you pump your HEX bags as well as everyone else's HEX bags when you do that. And number 3, you are giving your HEX to the most diamond hands of diamond hands, because we know that the OA and the benevolent entity that the OA has been is not going to sell those coins. So it's not going to sell that price back down. We're going to ratchet the price of HEX up, and you're going to have nothing but ease of use. There might be a 4th pump-amental that he may not have talked about yet. I think there may, I'm speculating, 100% speculating at this point in time, but there may be a hidden pump-amental for those that sacrifice HEX that might get an extra bonus because of it. So just saying that, throwing that out there, but it wouldn't be advertised if you did. I wouldn't advertise it if I were him, if I were to do something along those lines.
I have a 4th.
You think that would
pump-amental
happen? I'm not sure, man.
Crafty.
What?
KNTX. Yeah, I have a 4th pump-amental for you guys.
Okay.
To add to those 3 you mentioned, KNTX. Basically, if we convert other coins into HEX and sacrifice that, there is no sell pressure. But also, let's take a few steps back. The whole reason for Pulse creation was HEX, and which ERC20 token ERC20 token will get the most adoption, and which ERC20 token will get value appreciation as fast as possible on PulseChain as well. I think there is a risk if you are copying some random coins, getting a copy of random coins from that list, which will be published. There is a risk that some of those coins will get just ghosted and will never get adopted on the Pulse. And HEX 100% will get adopted, and value of HEX on Pulse will rise faster than other ERC20 coins. So you're getting, it's easier, as you said, it's just 1 sacrifice. And if you get a, even if you're not sacrificing it for Pulse, you're getting a copy of ERC20 token, which will appreciate the fastest on Pulse. So this is the only smart thing to do, to convert it into HEX and sacrifice, or get a copy of HEX on Pulse. And also, if you, right now we're having a dip in HEX, right? So, and other coins pumped. So if you do it now as soon as possible, get take advantage of the dip, and HEX might rise in price based on FOMO and just like bouncing back from the dip. So you get more bang for your buck for HEX.
That's a great point. If you guys are thinking about going this route, which seems like the smart route to go, unless someone else can provide me a better explanation or a better game theory on how this might work out better for you, I think Barely Crafty is 100% correct. If you've taken any appreciation in any of those other coins that you're going to sacrifice anyway, and we're on a huge dip right now for HEX, we're at what, a 47% dip, I think, right now from our all-time high.
Somewhere there, yeah.
this is a fantastic time to get your money's worth on HEX before we get the ultimate pump before Pulse comes out. So this might just be the right move for you based on your investment behavior, what your risk tolerance is, and your situation and scenario. So make sure you do your own research. You look at your situation and see if it works for you. But I think Barely Crafty is 100% correct. That might be the best way to go forward right now and maximize your HEX bag and the Pulse gains in the future.
By the way, we just talked about the increase in price when for every million. For every million it was, right? That's what.
Yeah, 4.2% every million as of now, unless the
exactly
comes out.
Yeah. All right. So I just looked up. I'm not sure if this is right, but I think the first day of HEX there was like, what is it, like 2 million USD? I'm not sure if
there were more
in the
than
adoption.
that.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. I just looked up something randomly, but like to think about how much ETH went into the adoption amplifier the first day of HEX, and then think about Pulse, like how quickly the price will go up. That's interesting to think about. If anyone has the accurate numbers for that, that would be great. I don't know exactly where to find that, but
what I'm excited the most about this. Sorry. I thought you were done.
No, go on. Yeah, I'm kind of done.
What I'm most excited about is that there is not a single route, that there is like game theory and several ways to play this. You can play it safe and just get a copy and see what happens and maybe sell your copy or sell your ETH versions of ERC20s you have. You can mix it up and sacrifice some and get a copy of some. Or you can go heavy on Pulse and sacrifice like most of your liquid or whatever you're willing to sacrifice. But we need also to remember, even though there is this appreciation of like 4-point-something% per day, if we indeed get a FOMO effect and price of HEX starts ratcheting up, it might outperform those 4%. So if you FOMO in day 1 or 2, the price of HEX might, let's say, 2x on day 5. And if you enter on day 5 with dollar value much higher than day 1, there is not a single route. If there was just one single route to go, one single route to play this, everyone would do this, and it would like it would not play out.
It will be a mess.
Well for everyone. And now you can sacrifice, you can get copies and focus on that on HEX on ETH, or you can keep your dry powder on the side and wait for those guys who got free stuff to dump it. Maybe there will be a dump in Pulse like right after launch. So you might seek for your opportunity to get in, then just pick up the dip of Pulse right after.
Yeah, that's the question. How much leverage will you get if you start day 1 because you get so much Pulse? Like maybe the price already went up so much.
There are 3 days
before you
of
can buy
grace
it.
period, right?
What do you mean?
I think it's a cool-off period between 330 and day 33, right?
What? Wait, what's with 3 days? I missed something.
I think I read somewhere that it's not just day 1 where the price stays at initial level. I think it's 3 days, 3 first days when it stays at the same level, and then after day 3 it starts ratcheting up.
That doesn't make sense for every. Then it doesn't make sense to have it for every million, right? For every million, as of now, it goes up, right? So
it's how it ends, right?
Yeah, I just checked. It was $3 million the first day. It was 21,000 ETH at $145.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you guys think it's unreasonable? I just want to throw this out there. Motley, I want to get to your comments because it's what we just said earlier, and I agree 100%. So I'd love to validate your opinions because I think that you're right on the money with that, Motley. So we'll do that here in just a second. But do you guys think at today's ETH value that there's going to be $21,000 worth of ETH value first day Pulse? Do you think that's
21,000 ETH, you mean?
an equivalent of 21,000 ETH. And obviously, we've had
No.
price appreciation since then.
Maybe more.
I know
I don't
that's
think so.
Yeah.
You don't think so? So what is? We had 21,000. What is it? 2,700. I'm gonna just round up right now.
Yeah.
57
So
million.
that's $56 million on the first day. You guys don't think that Richard
Yeah.
Hart could raise that in sacrificing over all the chains and all the sacrificing?
Could
You
be
don't
even
think
more.
57 million isn't possible the first day? Because I think it's completely possible.
We could blow that out of the water, in
I
fact.
think that's easy.
I can tell you
man.
this much. Like, imagine how many people knew about HEX when HEX launched. How many thousands? Like, let's say it's 5,000, or I don't know, whatever number it is. It is significantly larger, just if we take into account hexagons, right? But you need to add all the haters that feel dumb and stupid who know about Pulse. They will be
Yeah.
interested.
Yeah.
You need
Bitboy,
to
you know.
the circle of people who know about Pulse is much larger.
Much
And-
larger.
And we add all those airdrops, all that price appreciation, all those gains they have to sacrifice and to put in. It's going to be, I think it's going to be more magnificent, way more magnificent than Hex launch.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
What's the
when
market
Hex
cap
launched,
of? Sorry.
they had most people had money on the sidelines to put into Hex, and maybe
You've got
maybe it's different this time.
possibly 4 months to get ready to put money on the sidelines right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Not
also,
to mention your price appreciation from this bull run over the last year for the coins that you're holding outside of Hex.
If you have HEX, then sacrificing a lot large amounts of HEX would make more sense than selling it, because by selling your HEX, you remove the price against you. By
Yeah,
sacrificing, you get the
price appreciation
yeah.
of Hex.
You're just moving
Plus,
into a
you
different asset.
don't have any sell pressure later.
It's weighted.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
price is weighted.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because
Way
now
more.
as the price appreciation goes up, you've got a time-weighted average price that goes up too for your sacrifice. It's a compounding effect if you guys think about it. It's essentially a 4x multiplier, possibly depending on how he works this. If your price appreciation goes up double in Hex, and you're getting Pulse as a result of that actual dollar value versus what Hex was at, that could be possible up to a 4x. You'll get 4x more Pulse than you would have at today's Hex price.
Oh.
So
Wow,
that's just
a trip. Yeah.
that's just just throwing that out there. I don't know how this is all going to work, but that's just something that the way my mind is working right now, that you might, it compounds. If you guys sell all your freaking stupid bags that you've already got all your price appreciations for, let's go ahead and throw them into Hex and then use that for your sacrifice.
I see Markable's boyfriend.
Exactly.
Okay, real quick before Captain hops on, and Motley's trying to hop on here too. So HPC, the Hex Pump campaign. Every Hexagon entering the sacrifice phase should convert to Hex before they do so. Hex supply becomes more scarce and liquid Hex that could have sold is gone. Hex pumps. That's exactly what we said before. So we 100% agree with Motley on that. If we can get the community behind a movement like that, Hex ERC20 price moons and enables you to become a larger pulse whale. That's what we just said here too. So I'm glad we read this first. So it's a beautiful win-win for all of us. Think about that. Your Hex stake bag pumps, you sacrifice all your liquid, it never gets sold because it's now in the benevolent diamond hand OA, and then on top of that you get more pulse on top of it because of the price appreciation of Hex and the time weighted average price that he's giving in pulse. So the 4.2% per million USD is subject to change. He stated determining the USD number is hard. Yes, absolutely. So he could determine that to be a different number at a different date. So that is 100% correct. But in the meantime, that's the information we have to go off of. We'll find out more tomorrow, and I hope he announces some of it. Okay, Metallic Elmo, I had to throw this in my face. Why would he announce it on your piddly little stream, your piddly little pirate stream with
It's a
bunch of
ladies'
girls,
stream. Come on.
I hope he does.
when he could just put it on his just because he has 25x the viewers. So whatever. Anyway,
But he's not gonna do 2 streams, right?
Not
So
sold it at
he'll
all.
Probably,
Wow.
he'll probably let you know something this Friday, right?
well, he's a pretty techie guy. He might be able to simulcast too. So he might be able to be on with the girls and announce all this information on his channel at the same time. And I'm cool with that. If he steals our viewers, I'm not going to be hurt because he's pumping our bags, guys. And he's about to give us all another opportunity to become whales. And we know better this time. We know how well Hex went. And we all had that, that in the back of our minds, we're like, we know this guy is solid. We know he's going to do what's right. But we still had that, a little bit of that FUD in the back of your brain. I know a lot of the guys I've talked to, and myself included, I was afraid to go hard early. I was afraid to go deep and take the risk. And now I wish I had done everything possible for a 448x return. So
yeah, but KNTX, some of us don't know better this time, and they admit it, like myself. And I still need another couple of breadcrumbs tomorrow or the next day when we hear it from Richard, just so that I do the exact wrong thing again.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Well,
Probably.
just know that Pulse is not going to go down initially because it's going to start at next to nothing. You've got a potential of infinite gains. If something comes out at 0 or near 0 value and goes up to $1 from less than a cent, that could be 1,000x right there, just depending on the initial price of what it's released at. And that all depends. I think that it depends a lot on the automatic market makers that he forks over and what that the ratio set the price at. So we'll see.
And already with how much, like how early you get in, I guess, and how much the price already increases by the sacrificing period. Because if you go in the first day and then you have 30 days of price appreciation already, just because of the sacrificing alone, like that will already increase your chances of making it big, right?
I had a question.
If I'm not mistaken, if he's copying like Uniswap and liquidity pairs with instead of ETH in those pairs, we have Pulse, right? So that ratio is kind of set, and then it's only a question of where the Pulse will be at the beginning.
Well, people will be buying Hex, I think, with their first Pulse. So
Pulse first, then to
dude,
Hex.
trust me, I'm thinking about it. Once I feel I'm set with my Pulse bag, I'm probably going to be buying some PRC20 Hex. Not going to lie. I'm probably going to use some Pulse, especially after some of the initial price pump of Pulse, to buy more Hex on
but
Pulse.
You will have a large bag of Hex if a large bag of Pulse if Pulse it's dropped like 10,000 to 1 for X.
Yeah.
If you have like 3x, then there's like 30,000 Pulse.
Did you notice that last stream we used terms like snapshot and the timing of snapshot versus the sacrifice lobby ending, and that's all out the window now. There is no snapshot, right? There's just a fork. Fork equals snapshot.
Basically, yes.
Yes. So, and I think it has to be that way because you don't want to mess with the system state. You want, initially at least, you want the Hex system state to match, and you have to be concerned about the days matching and the accrued Hex per stake. So you want those to match initially at the time of the fork.
Right.
I think there will be, Richard will announce a certain block height on Ethereum, and like that's the snapshot.
Right.
That's the day of the fork.
So I think Scotty and John had a good point last night that they think that the sacrifice has to be done on the ERC side, so the Ethereum and the ERC20 side, before the fork takes place. I didn't want it to be that way. I was trying to convince myself of logically why that would be, because it would be really nice if you could sacrifice your PRC20 stable coins that you happen to have.
We got it backwards.
Yeah. Well, it would be nice if you could sacrifice those for more Pulse, but technically you will be able to, since you'll get a copy anyway, and that's going to be moved over on the automatic market maker. You should be able to still buy Pulse with it, but it's just not the same. I want that multiplier, that X multiplier, whatever that may be.
Yeah, but there wouldn't have been a live chain for you to actually get those tokens to at that point anyway. So that doesn't work logically. Is that correct? Is that why it doesn't work? KNTX?
Say that again. Say that one more time. Sorry, I was reading.
You couldn't have gotten your PRC copied tokens before the go live date because there wouldn't have been a live chain to get them on. So it doesn't work that way. It's an impossibility that it could have happened any other way.
The way I was thinking about it is the distribution of Pulse is a lot cleaner if at the time that you do it, if the total circulating supply was automatically airdropped, so to speak, to all the people at the time of the fork. And that's easier to do if you figure out the sacrifice address first and what the ratio that's going to be handed out to everybody versus trying to calculate that after the fork and then distribute it to everyone. I just
that's
see
what
it
X is for, though. That's what the X placeholder is for. And
yes, because it calculates that for you. So then the sacrifice address or the sacrificing would have to be done before. Motley, you here with us? Or you keep trying to hide behind dumpsters?
Yeah.
And keeps walking by.
Sorry, I was having issues with my audio. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, man, we can hear you great.
All right, cool. So you guys talking about Pulse today?
No, not at all, man. We're not interested at all. We have no interest in Pulse.
Yeah, none of us do, right?
Yeah, right.
Shitcoin, right?
Man. Oh my God, pure shitcoin. Don't get in, guys. Nah, just kidding.
Or get in day 30. Get in day 30. Best buy ever.
So and there's something to that. I know there's pretty much it seems like the best time is to go in on day one as soon as you can. But I think there's also, depending on the strategy that we tried to kind of get the community behind, there could be some more games to that too. Maybe not waiting more than a day or so, or maybe a certain time. Because let's. I mean, you guys pretty much touched it on already, but like I really want to emphasize this, and I'm going to go on as many streams and promote this to the community as I can. I was going to go on yesterday, but then I started watching the presidential address, and then Discourse Syndicate went over it. It looks like you guys are going over it, but really, all the Hexagon community, I think the optimal strategy, regardless. One, I went ahead and I've been buying Hex now, just because I think Barely Crafty was saying earlier, we're at a dip. It's a good time to buy Hex anyways, but that's going to be one of my main plays going into the sacrifice chamber, because I don't know about you guys, but I want to be a Pulse whale. Richard's already been highly successful with Hex and everything else he's done. And this is giving you a chance. You guys see how profitable all those Ethereum whales are now. Like they're some of the largest players in the ecosystem. They rival most Bitcoin whales. So I want to become a Pulse whale, essentially a better Ethereum. So like I don't know about you guys, but I'm making big plans to try to be as large of a Pulse whale as I can. So my idea now is go ahead, get your Hex now while it's low. Why wouldn't you, right? Buy the dip. I think we're going to pump like crazy before we get to the sacrifice phase, because everyone that's a Hexagon, at least, I don't know what other members are going to do, but everyone in the Hexagon, if they plan on going to the sacrifice chamber, they need to be converting all their coins, whatever they're sacrificing, into Hex before they do so.
Yep.
It makes 0 sense not to. You will trade, whatever coin you have, you're going to trade it for the exact same USD value in Hex right before you sacrifice it. So you are going to absolutely moon the price of Hex ERC20. You're going to further reduce the supply of Hex ERC20. You're going to get rid of all the liquid Hex ERC20 that was potentially going to sell in the future. You're going to get rid of all that. And then on top of that, it's going to pump like crazy. So guess what? Your USD value that you're entering into the sacrifice chamber, essentially, that's going up through the roof. So you get to become a larger Pulse whale at the same time. Like, it's beautiful how everything just ties in perfectly together. And then that's what I was kind of saying. I know everyone's like, hey, FOMO day one, FOMO as hard as you can, as soon as you can. You might want to hold back too, because if we can get the community all on the same page, Hex could absolutely just start skyrocketing. So that whole expansion phase, the third wave, everything we've been talking about, this is it. And we can almost time exactly when it's going to be now with this sacrifice phase. That will be, if we can get the entire community behind this, that will be our third wave expansion phase. And we'll see numbers that we've never seen before. So maybe you want to hold off like an hour, 2 hours, whatever, depending on how much USD value is going in there and whatever Richard decides to set the 4.2% increase. Right now it's at 1 million. He might change that number. I know he said it's kind of hard to figure out what he wants to do as far as that goes, but you might want to wait an hour or two, keep an eye on it, because if all the Hexicans and the Hex community actually transfers whatever coins they're sacrificing to Hex beforehand, or just buys Hex now at this low dip, I think that's the smart move right now, is buy it at these low prices and then get to enjoy the dip all the way up. That's what I've been doing. I almost didn't even want to start doing this because I wanted to keep accumulating, but I made a couple more buys, and like I think it's the right play. But it's everyone wins regardless of whatever you decide to do. Everyone should convert right before they enter to the sacrifice chamber.
But that doesn't, yeah, maybe right before, but most people, you'll be better off going into Hex right now, right? So
yes,
the pump
I
will
would.
happen. So
Agreed.
but then the pump will happen before you can start sacrificing. So then it doesn't matter if
Well,
you wait another hour.
that's your problem for not buying earlier. You should, if you're trying to.
We need
and it's 1.4 cents right now.
Yeah, if you're trying to catch the pump, then buy now. I mean that's what I'm doing. But
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
saying
But you
worst case scenario. So let's say this, right? So let's say sacrifice chamber just started, and you have a pile of fucking Dogecoin or whatever, it doesn't matter, and you go ahead, convert that right at Hex at the beginning of the sacrifice chamber. This is when we're going to see potentially, and again, this is if the community, everything gets behind it. To me, it makes no sense not to convert it over to another coin and just sit back and watch the show, because if everyone in the Hex community does that, it'll skyrocket, and then you start playing the game of, all right, how much USD value is going into the sacrifice chamber? How much is Hex pumping on the hourly chart? Like, shit could just get wild, is what I'm saying. So, like,
Yeah, but why would it go?
there comes some game theory in there.
Why would it
Go ahead.
pump so hard right when the sacrificing starts? Like, everyone that is smart enough will already have converted it to Hex before the sacrificing starts, right? So
You think everyone's smart enough, and you don't think people have
the
other
pump-
bags of coins that they want to get rid of?
Yeah, but why would you only do that when you can start sacrificing? That doesn't make sense.
You would only do
The
that when
pump-
you can
I think
start
the pump will
sacrificing.
continue because
pump
people
will
will
start
see
sooner.
how. Yeah, but it will continue through the sacrifice lobby.
It will
and people
continue
FOMO
through the
in
sacrifice.
with
Yeah,
their
okay, yeah,
other
true.
coins.
That's definitely true. It's not... Yeah,
Probably.
all right.
Either way, you win regardless of what you do. Even if you're unwilling to buy the dip now, which I think would be stupid not to, you win. You win just doing it right before you go in, because guess what? All your bags become more valuable. And end of story. Like, all your bags become more valuable by just making sure to convert in Hex. Whether if you already have it in Hex, cool. Then you just made it that much more scarce. You made that liquid Hex disappear from the market. Either way, you win. It's just at what degree do you win? Did you buy in at 1.35 cents? And did you ride that pump all the way up? Did you wait an hour or two to go into the sacrifice chamber? And now Hex is pumped up to 8, 10, 12 cents. Your USD value just did multiples of what X, it's just what degree are you going to win? But overall, Hex community is going to win regardless of what happens, as long as we play something out like this.
Yep. So
And
I believe
by sacrificing
the
Hex,
pump will start
you are
sooner
removing it from. Sorry.
because what?
Go on, Peter. I think you're
Go.
lagging a little, or me. Someone is lagging. No,
I think
I just
Peter's
want to say
lagging a
that
little
by sacrificing
me?
Hex,
God damn.
you are removing it from circulation. You're
Right.
moving it into the strongest possible hands of OA on both chains, both on
Yeah.
ETH and on Pulse.
So I want to address this, guys. Hey, thanks, CosD, for the $5 Canadian. What is the benefit of staking before the sacrifice date? So there's still a benefit. It depends on how you want to play it. It's going to be better with more information to know, but you're still going to get the best staking rate possible, share rate possible at today's price only. So that's important for you guys to know. The best price you're ever going to get is going to be today with staking. And remember, you're going to get duplicate stakes on the PulseChain. So there's still a benefit to staking before the sacrifice date. But as more information comes out, people may decide they want to go heavier into the Pulse side, which is great.
I mean, just look at it. You're literally making, right during this entire phase, you're literally making the Hex ERC20 that much more rare, that you're pumping the price that crazy high.
Yeah.
So guess what? I would like you to have a duplicate stake on ERC. I would like to have additional duplicate stakes on the HEX ERC20 pair, as well as the PulseChain, and get 2 for 1. So it's all game theory, all different strategies. It's all different timelines. You just got to do what works with you. But I mean, honestly, most of these plays are going to win. Again, it just comes down to what degree are you going to win, by what percentage, how much more percentage are you going to make. And it's just, as we get more information come Friday, Richard Hart's going to put it out, and then we can all kind of adjust our strategies and everything moving forward.
Yep.
And honestly, what I would say, or at least what my strategy is to just spread the risk of losing out on or missing insane gains. Like I just do a little of all, because everything will win, kind of. So
I think you're going to be happy either way. If you stay in HEX or if you go into Pulse, I think you're going to be happy either way, and even in the near future, not just long term.
And then on top of this, right? So let's say you do the strategy, you buy HEX now, you get the dip, you ride it up on the pump, you enter the sacrifice chamber with multiple X USD value than what you start off with. You're a good size Pulse whale now. You're essentially what the Ethereum whales are in their ecosystem now. And guess what? Now you have an entire sea of opportunity in front of you. You can become a larger HEX Pulse HEX whale. You can become a synthetics Pulse whale. You could become an Aave HEX whale. You can become. There's certain coins that make sense to maybe pick up on Pulse, and maybe some that doesn't. But that's up to you, right? Like, so you have essentially an entire ocean of the ERC20 ecosystem out for you to just take up whatever you want and become a bag holder of.
Yes.
So I would say that is like the higher risk type of play.
Yes, agreed.
It is.
You don't know what that community is going to do, right? And
agreed.
Like if you get the coins, yeah, exactly. And that's where the rewards will be exponentially higher as well, because the risk is so much higher.
I think we can.
So that's an interesting part.
I think we can all agree that obviously the HEX community is going to be the largest and most accepting of the PulseChain in the initial beginning, but maybe with time, and I mean, look at it. You're looking at the largest airdrop in history. You're literally airdropping the entire system state of Ethereum. That's just never been done before. That and alone, I don't give a fuck how much you hate Richard. That will be news everywhere, whether it's good, bad, news everywhere. That is in itself is the opportunity cost right there.
Here's another thing to think about, guys. So look how big Matic network is now, being a second layer solution to Ethereum because of the cheap fees. Look how that you have to bridge over. So you don't get a copy on their network. You have to actually sacrifice your ERC20 version to get the Matic version. That's not the case with Pulse, guys. You are getting a mirror image. So why wouldn't a community adopt that? It doesn't make any sense not to if you get a cheaper transaction layer and it's still the same project, the same keys, in control by the same people still. So if you believe in that project, why wouldn't you want a cheaper, faster transaction layer?
Well, yeah, that's true. And
real quick, guys, I just got to throw this out there. I've been making Jasper wait too long, buddy. So he says, day one FOMO it is. Some beers on me at Vegas. Thank you, sir, for the 20 euros, brother. We appreciate that. I hope to see you in Vegas, man. Hope to see you in Vegas. So just had to throw that out there.
How cool is that Richard designed something that actually day one FOMO, he flipped it on its head, right? That actually might be the most optimal play or close to it. That's freaking amazing that he was able to design essentially a launch system that does that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yep. I love it. Well, why not? Because he knows we're going to do it. We're going to day one FOMO anyway, and he knows it's going to be the Hexicans at day one FOMO. And we've already been good actors on the existing state of Hex, so he's rewarding us now for being day one FOMOers.
He said it at the beginning, right? He wanted to incentivize the people that actually deserve to get the gains. Like
look at it this way too, right? Because like this is a way to kind of pay. I know a lot of Hexicans are upset, like, oh, we Hexicans should get more from this than other communities. No, obviously that it just doesn't work with the narrative, right?
Look how much you're already getting.
Exactly. But this in itself is kind of a little this is kind of a little give me to the Hexakim community that people aren't even really seeing right now, because yes, there's going to be massive news. The entire ERC20 is going to be copied over, world's largest airdrop. So people will come, but people are going to hesitate a little bit. They're like, oh, I don't know if I should throw some stuff in there. But guess what? Fucking Hex community is coming in lock, stock, and barrel, and we're going to be going in early. And you might know it's the largest airdrop, but unless you're in the weeds like we are and really digging through this, and we know, hey, you want to be in on day one, because after that, you're going up by 8%, 10%, 20%, 30%, depends how much USD value comes to this. But this is kind of like some insider information. Unless you're really in the weeds with the Hex community, you don't know about this kind of stuff. You just know, hey, I'm getting a copy of my ERC20 on PulseChain. I'll check it out. Then maybe you find out about the sacrifice chamber, like, oh, I don't know if I want to throw my coins in there and maybe get this pulse. Maybe. Meanwhile, Hexicans are just going ape shit in there. And by the time someone by the time someone figures it out, or maybe a whales want to come in and test the water, maybe it's already day 15, day 20, and we're up hundreds of percent on token X value, and they're getting a fraction of what we did on day one. And that's just kind of an homage to the Hex community, like, hey, for you guys being loyal and staying active and being involved, you guys have the optimal strategy to come into this pulse chain and become new pulse whales. Congratulations. Take advantage.
Agreed.
They'll be poking the freemium with a stick, thinking that it's some kind of dusting attack, and then they won't know what to do with it.
Yep.
I'm going to enjoy the stream tomorrow.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
too.
Really nice.
I'm so ready. I am so ready. So D'Artagnan wants to know, Motley, how did you learn all this knowledge?
How you learned is the way that it was put.
How you learned all
how
this
you
knowledge?
learned? Why you good speak?
I read good. No. So I literally just took the time out one day, because the Pulse, honestly, like, I hadn't been in the Pulse chain Telegram, and as you guys know, probably looking into it, it's pretty much become like the main Hex Telegram channel. There's just so many comments going through there. It's a lot. I literally spent 2 to 3 hours one day just going through thousands of messages, and like, I just kind of sped that process up by stopping on Richard's comments and a couple other community members that I respect their opinions on certain issues, and I just went through and I kind of filtered my way through all that information. And then throughout that process, throughout those thousands of messages, Richard continues to leave those breadcrumbs along the way. And then after that, it's just taking all the breadcrumbs together and then just trying to come up with the optimal strategy to be as successful as possible. That's all it comes down to. And obviously, we're going to get a lot more breadcrumbs on Friday, and I'll be sitting there with my little pen and paper just watching and learning.
Yep. Me too, definitely. So Cabana Crypto says the Motley Media Tour. Looking forward to him campaigning here at the Nights of the Crypto Table.
That's it, dude.
Happy Hour.
It's going to be on Happy Hour. We have the Nights of the Crypto Table show tonight on Wasabi. Look into Crypto's channel. I literally want to get the whole community behind this, because there's no reason not to. And we will send Hex to the goddamn moon. People don't realize, they're like, oh, like, Hex is just, or Richard's abandoning Pulse and or abandoning Hex and just going to Pulse now. This is our opportunity to make Hex absolutely go through the freaking roof, and then become a Pulse whale simultaneously. Like, I'm so excited for this. You have no idea.
Yeah, me too. Like, Motley, you and I'll have to talk privately, because I'm going in a big way, and I don't really need to discuss that over the airwaves. So.
Same.
Cool. Okay. Cool. And then we need to talk too about the Crypto Knights of the Round Table, because there's a huge opportunity there, and I'll discuss that with you in private too. So
gotcha.
Yeah, man. So I'm really excited about this. This community has just got one more opportunity to be enriched by hundreds of X's. Potentially, and I don't doubt it for a second. Knowing how well the Hex launch went, knowing that we're betting on the jockey as well as the horse that is the Pulse chain, and is Hex based initially anyway. I think we're in such a prime spot here, guys. Just stay tuned in, pay attention. We're not the only Hex stream that's talking about this. Make sure to watch Maddie's, make sure to watch Crypto Knights of the Round Table, make sure to watch any of the other Hex I guess you can watch Barely Crafty, maybe Hodl Dog. I don't know those guys. Maybe you can watch those guys. But if you want real knowledge, the first ones I said, go to those, and we'll keep you guys updated on what's going on as we get better
shade.
Damn.
If you absolutely have to, you can go watch Barely Crafty.
That's my favorite.
He's got the ASMR voice. Him and Hodl Dog, man, got the ASMR voices. So, friends make secrets. What's that about? Markable thoughts.
Children of the Grave said secrets don't make friends, and I said friends make secrets.
I love it. So yeah, I love it, guys. Just stay tuned with all the Hex streams. We got a lot of good quality people streaming in the community. So shout out to all those guys that are putting in the time and the effort to get out here and divulge information essentially for free to you guys. So just know that people aren't benefiting other than pumping their own bags on these streams right now. Oh, Crypto Coffee, I'm sorry. Of course, Crypto Coffee. I think he has officially become the largest Hex stream now. I think even larger than Hexo, just because he's still on YouTube and Hexo's on Twitch, and Twitch is just a harder beast to tame than that. You just don't get the eyeballs that YouTube gets. But yeah, man, it's all these guys that are doing this. They do it not only to pump their own bags, but also because it's for your guys' benefit. So stay tuned to what's going to happen. Get good insights from people like Motley Investor, John Wick, the guys on the stream with me here right now. Obviously, Scotty Does Know has been an original OG Hexican from the beginning as well. Thank you all over there on Theta. We got like 5 new follows today, so we appreciate you guys over there. I don't have much time for much else because I got to get going, but I really appreciate everyone for joining us today. Thanks, Motley, for taking a couple moments and giving us your thoughts and divulging the information that you do know for sure as of now, as it sits.
As of now. Could change.
Yes,
yep,
that's exactly right. And make sure everybody tunes into the Stolen Discourse tomorrow night with all the girls and Richard Hart. So, with that,
KNTX, will there be a FN Hangout after that Stolen session, or?
Unless
that might go pretty late.
Unless Richard Hart decides to go along with the girls, or he decides to do his own stream afterwards, you can plan on it. So
I saw Barely Crafty smirking at that comment.
I know
Going
exactly
along with the girls.
I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, well, the ladies love the Richard Hart. So, hey guys, with that, Markable, take us out.
Goodbye. Bye.
Bye, guys. Failing me hard.
Outro.